welcome back to my channel, Full Purpose and Heart. My name is Kaylin. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by my video today. I wanted to give you guys an update or like a year-end wrap-up as to our homeschool year. I had been doing a lot of update videos over the course of our year, and then everything just kind of fell apart, I guess you could say, over these last several weeks. And so I haven't been posting any update videos, but since we're at the end of the video or the end of the school year today, then I'm going to be giving you an update video on how we wrapped up our school year. In a separate video, I'll give you guys just a review of all of the curriculum that I chose and kind of how that all worked out and what I feel about it, just so that you can couple it next to the video that I do at the beginning of the year with my curriculum choices. So you can kind of put those two together if you're looking at curriculum. So anyway, let's just talk about how our school year ended, okay? All right, friends, so we have finished 36 weeks of school. We started our school year back in July of 2019, and I have a second grader, and then I had a preschooler, and then my 2-year-old. Well, he was 1 at the time, 2, like 1 anyway. So that's where we started with that. I was very organized. I had all of the plans that jumped in, including this board. And if you guys watch my videos, you'll notice that I stopped rotating all this stuff come about like January. I don't even know how long this has been up there, but anyway, so long story short, the year did not turn out the way that I had planned it to, but it did turn out good in the end. So just as a quick update, so we'll start with my second grader. As soon as COVID-19 hit and everything shifted on everybody else's front, I decided to just ride the wave. Even though I didn't need to, I just decided that we were gonna kind of pull back on some of our extra subjects. So we didn't ever finish our history unit. I had the last 3 chapters, I guess. So we did the Northern Colonies, and it was such a cute unit, and I loved it. But then I never got into the Middle or the Southern Colonies, and we didn't do our Introduction to the Revolutionary War. So that's kind of where we ended up with that. I didn't ever pick up science again. We kind of hit or miss did our handwriting. We were doing the good and the beautiful handwriting. And I think that maybe once or twice a week he was doing that. He was almost towards the end of the book, because every time he did sit down to write, do his handwriting, he would breeze through those pages pretty quickly and do several of them at once. So he was almost to the end of the book, so I feel okay about that. And then, so the only 2 subjects that we really have been working on every day consistently has been English and math. Because English was done with distance learning, I really have been grateful for that, because we have done it every day. I feel like he's gotten a really good understanding of, English, parts of speech, and we did a little bit of writing therein. So that's been going every day still. And then our math, we've been doing that every day, but those have been modified. I don't know, I'll pull out lessons here or there, so we'll kind of skip to kind of jump ahead, I guess you could say. And then within each lesson, he'll only do, I don't know, about half of the number of problems that they will ask him to do in any given activity. So that's not new. We've been doing that pretty much since the beginning. But so if there are 20, math problems or whatever, then I'll tell him just to do 10 of them or something like that. So that's pretty much where we finished off with him. We have about 5 days left of school, so I am kind of just going through the math lessons and wrapping it up, and then I'll give him the number 16 test at the end of on our last day of school. So, well, the day before, because our last day of school is like a party, but anyway. So that's kind of how my second grader's year has ended up. My daughter is doing kindergarten work right now, and so she's enjoying some books by Evan Moore. We have just a couple of spell and write, and I have skill sharpeners. So she kind of just pulls those books out as she likes while her brother's doing his work either on his computer for his distance learning. We have been doing the good and the beautiful, but not very consistently. She still enjoys it. I think we got through about 50 lessons or so. So anyway, I think that that's been pretty good. She really does enjoy doing her school time. She's still doing her Horizons math. She's in Horizons kindergarten, and I think she got through, I can't say, maybe 115, 120 of those lessons. So she's been moving right along, doing really well. Hold on, let me just look in here in her math thing, because I feel like 100 was really high, but oh yeah, 123 is what she's on. So she's been doing good with that. When COVID hit, I'll just kind of talk briefly about kind of what we experienced or what we went through, in case some of you might be, wondering how you compare to what other people are doing, which shouldn't matter, but I'm always curious to know what other people did. So for us, we started kind of sticking at home on about March 14th, which a lot of different states kind of went at a different pace, but in our state, we started on March 14th, and nothing really changed except that we weren't leaving the house. We were playing outside, going on walks in our neighborhood when the weather was nice and that sort of thing, but we weren't joining the chaos of running to the stores and to Costco and bulking up on a bunch of products or anything like that. So our school year was pretty much unchanged at that point. Probably about a week or so in of staying at home, I started to feel kind of stir crazy, because our usual activities, like going to dance lessons and piano lessons, we usually would hit up a museum or some kind of outside learning area once a week. That hadn't happened. And then our weekly activities with our youth group wasn't happening. So it was probably about 10, maybe let's say 2 weeks in to that I started feeling really stir crazy. So it was about then that I pulled back on our curriculum, and we started only doing math and English for my second grader, like I mentioned before. And I really pulled back on my daughter's work, and she was just kind of doing whatever books that she was feeling like, as I mentioned. And my 2-year-old was jumping in and out kind of as 2-year-olds do. So it was probably, so in our state, they closed the schools. I don't even remember now. It was before spring break. So at the beginning of April, I'm going to say. So it was about when public school closed that we really kind of started getting a little more hit or miss. We would have days of school, and then we would have days without school, for no other reason than I was feeling stir crazy. And I know that probably would have helped with the routine of our day feeling more normal. I was just looking for any excuse to get out of the house and do something that felt more like our life was more normal. But anyway, so that's kind of how things kind of led on with that. And then I was kind of in and out, trying to be consistent in finishing. But our math and English, we did a good job staying consistent with those things. So anyway, now here we are at the middle of May, or the beginning of May, I guess. What is it, the 10th or something like that. And we are going to finish up this week of all of school. I think that our school districts will be finishing at the end of May, but I know that a lot of different schools are doing different things. So I think we're kind of wrapping up the same time that everybody else does. So some of you may be wondering, like at the beginning of the video, I mentioned that we start school in the middle of July, which is really early, but we do that so that we can take a lot of breaks during the school year. I guess you could say we're kind of year round, but we do take a summer break. We take like 6 weeks of summer, but during our summer break, we have summer school. So I guess you could say we're year-round. That's another conversation for another video. But anyway, so that's kind of the quick update to how our school year ended this year. I am going to be working the next couple of weeks of just cleaning everything out and saving what I want to save, and then putting the rest of it in the garbage. So it was a pretty rocky year, I'm going to say. But I'll talk more about that when I do my video. That'll just kind of be a review of all of the curriculum that we used and kind of how the school year went in general. But so that's kind of the end of our school year. Thank you for following along. If you didn't watch any of our homeschool life from previous videos, then you can go back and watch that playlist. And then next year, 2020, 2021, I'll have a second grader, and then kindergarten/first grade and preschool. So stay tuned for that, because I've got their curriculum all picked out and I'm ready to share. Bye guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can see when new videos pop up. We'll talk to you later.